Welcome, everyone, to Season 2, Episode 3 of the Cosmere Reads. Woo!
What's up?
What's up? Yeah, man. Excited to cover these 3 chapters tonight. There are actually some. I feel like the book's actually finally going somewhere, maybe a little bit.
Well, I had to do exposition and setup, so that was fine.
Yeah. We're getting somewhere now.
Yeah, we get some movement though. We're getting a little speed now.
Yeah, I think things are. We're learning more, but things are actually happening. It's we're starting to see where the book's going, direction. Where before it's just like, here's everything. Evening Pythos.
Pythos. Hey,
What's up, Pythos?
Yeah,
Pythos. I've got no
drink.
I've got no challenge cocktail. I'm just doing straight scotch right now, man.
I'm just doing water because I drank earlier because I was at an event earlier. So there you go. Oh, I had that at the event, the mango cart.
It's good. It's Tara, if you're watching, sorry, this is your last one, but you're pregnant, so I'm not sorry.
Ooh,
sorry.
I'll get you some more.
That's double harsh.
I'll get you some more.
It could be worse. Like my brother, when they were expecting their first, used his wife as his DD so many times, and I was like, and in fact, to the point where they're at a bar when her water broke. And,
that's a goal.
Yeah, and she had to drive herself to the hospital because he had been drinking too much, and while in labor. Yeah, life goals as a
Is this someone I know?
You know both my brothers.
Oh, this is your brother.
Yeah. Yes, you know both my brothers.
I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, this is not Hunter. It's not Doctor.
Well, I know it's a Hunter.
Yeah, you know who it is. Anyway, he doesn't drink anymore though, so that's good. He's been sober for 2 years. Yeah, doesn't drink at all. Yeah, doesn't touch a drop of alcohol. But anyway,
to your brother,
you owe me in August. Oh, hear that? Your wife says you need to buy a whole case.
Yeah, we're bringing champagne to the hospital.
Yeah.
Hey.
Let's see. I won't be able to attend much there. Oh, well, we'll miss you.
Yeah, but if he gets off at 9:45, and we'll take you, man.
Yeah,
jump on at 10.
Jump on a little late.
We'll probably still be going.
Yeah, we'll probably still.
Can you put us on in the car, or is that not safe?
Just listen. Yeah.
Always an option.
Watch. Yeah. Anyways, announcements. We do have a giveaway going on right now for the Cosmere Read. So if you go to our Twitter, our X, or whatever we call it these days, I still call it Twitter. I'll always call it Twitter. If you type in twitter.com, it still goes there.
Everyone says X, formerly Twitter.
Oh, is that what we're doing now?
That's what everybody's saying. So
okay, all the cool kids say X, formerly Twitter. Okay.
Oh well, then it's not coming from a cool kid, so I wouldn't know
from the cool kids.
No,
because the cool kids don't use Twitter.
They don't use Twitter.
Sorry, Snapchat. No, we don't have one of those. Should we? But yeah, we're doing.
They're on the gram, I think. Still,
they're still. On the gram?
I'm surprised how many young people I know are still like they're all on the gram.
Instagram, yeah.
Yeah,
the Wolverines is Instagram. I don't think we have one for,
and of course TikTok.
I don't think we have one for the Wolverines is a TikTok too, but I don't know if we have. But I don't post that much on Instagram or TikTok for that account, just because I never know what to post on Instagram because it's pictures, and I'm like, I'm gonna try pictures of ourselves, like or do reels of like clips. I could do that. It's just a lot of work. So like,
just generate a whole bunch of AI images, man.
I just reshare memes that I think are funny.
There you go.
That have nothing really to do with the podcast at all. It's like my Will Reads Instagram is just memes. That's all it is.
It was like those sections of Discord, basically.
Yeah, I just share memes. That's all it is. TikTok, I used to do a lot more of them when I first started doing it, like years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, once again, it's work, and yeah,
that's a good job.
Yeah, and trying to figure out the algorithm and things like that, it's just a lot of work. I'm like, yeah, there's people that do that, and that's their thing. It's not my thing. So it is what it is. Maybe one day. Call it Exeter, or is that chitter? Would you use the Chinese pronunciation and pronounce the X as a C, CH?
Like, yeah, sheeter.
Sheeter.
Yeah.
Sheeter. Get off the sheeter. Pronounce it the Chinese way. Anyway, yeah. So giveaway. We're doing a hardcover copy book of the Cosmere book of your choice. So if you don't follow us on that, whatever platform that is, go follow us. It's the Cosmere Reads is the handle. Just look for the post. It's pretty recent in our page because I think I post that and then hey, we're going live. So that's like 2 posts down. So follow the instructions and you could be entered to win. I think the drawing's in like 2 days. I can actually tell you right now when the drawing is. Let me go do that real fast. Come on. Notifications. Drawing will be on the 26th. So in 3 days. Still got some time. Yeah. Go win a free book. You guys aren't eligible. Sorry. If you guys want a book, I'll just buy you guys a book. But obviously, I can't let you guys win. Everybody was a fix.
Man, how dare you exclude us?
If you want me to buy you a book, I'll buy you a book.
I mean, I need a perk. I need a perk, man. We've been on this podcast like for a minute. I need a perk, man.
I said Will book, so I can't complain.
Oh, boo! That's right.
I actually been meaning to ask like if you want me to pay you back for those. But,
oh no, it comes out.
I haven't asked yet. So.
It comes out of the budget. Don't worry about it. If you want book, I know you do Audible, so you don't do the books.
I do Audible. Yeah.
So like if you do the books, I'd buy you the books.
But I do the Audible thing, and I've already got subscription locked in.
You got credits, so
yeah, I've been saving these credits up because I had was doing the Wheel of Time.
Yeah,
so I got all those books, and after that is right around the time that you put me on this podcast, and I was like, oh well, I'll use them for this.
Yeah,
and now I've got like 3 credits like locked in. But remember back in the day when Audible wouldn't let you roll over credits? And then they got sued for it.
Yeah.
So now my credits are stacking up. I'm like, hey, I don't care how long it takes for me to use them.
I think they have one because my son and I, we listen to books on when I drive him to school every morning. So like I'm buying books for myself, but I'm also half my Audible now is books for him. So
gotcha.
Percy Jackson books, and we did the Hobbit.
Okay.
Which, by the way, the audiobook Hobbit. If you never checked it out. It's the only way to read The Hobbit now.
I mean, yeah. The Hobbit has been like audiobooks since like back when I was in school. So
yeah, but you know who does the modern one, right?
I just know that now they've got like the production values are crazy high. I know they do.
Andy Serkis does the voices. So Gollum.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, that voice actor who does Gollum does all the voices. So it's fantastic. Yeah, it's amazing. Anyway, so go check that out. And then anything else going on in you guys' world? Battling some ponies this weekend. Preakness happened.
Memorial Day weekend this weekend. Don't really have
a little bit of a long weekend. I'm off on Monday, so
yeah. Actually, I actually get the day off because usually we don't medical. You don't get many days off. You get 6 days off, and this is one of them. So
right,
gonna go visit the wife in Roanoke. So I'm gonna probably download a new audio book or something that I can listen to on the drive up and drive back. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Probably fun.
Yeah.
Roanoke's pretty.
Yeah. Roanoke, you can't go wrong. I mean, it's so much better than it was like 15 years ago.
It was,
now
it was rough.
There's a bunch of stuff going on there.
Yeah, there's that little like district that's by the hospital on the outside, like around the outside. It has like it's all the outdoor bars.
Yeah,
actually kind of nice.
Yep, they got like breweries and stuff. They got things going on. So yeah.
Roanoke was a kind of rundown little town for a while, but
it was like a little back when I used to go, it was like a little strip of a downtown. Basically, it's like one like little street, and it had like a couple like little shops and maybe a bar or two here and there.
Yeah. Well, we like so my freshman
what it is now.
My freshman year in college, I went to Virginia Tech, which is 20 minutes away from Roanoke.
It's an hour away. Yeah,
an hour away. But that was like we would go to town, we go to Roanoke. Like if we had need to go shopping or something like that, there was nothing.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing Blacksburg.
But of course, Blacksburg is built up now more than it was back in the day too.
Oh yeah, but there's nothing.
Roanoke was
Christiansburg, Blacksburg, like that's Appalachian Mountains. Nothing there.
College town. That's all it is.
College town.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you guys ready to start rolling on chapter 8?
Yep.
All right, we're in Serene's point of view. So Serene decides to live in the palace instead of her uncle's house. So she makes the command decision that she'll stay close to the palace.
You mean Hunky K?
Hunky K. I'm sorry.
No, I will never get rid of that nickname in my head. Just use Hunky K.
Hunky K. Yeah, actually, what is his daughter's K-Ice?
K-Ice. Yeah.
K-Ice. I like that name.
Mhm.
It's spelled like case. It looks like case, but they
Oh,
pronounce
is
it.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's Kaise.
Oh, I would have never
Never
thought
pronounced it
K-Ice.
K-Ice.
Oh, but that's the way it's pronounced in
It's on the audiobook, yeah.
Yeah.
And Brandon Sanderson does work with the audiobook readers about pronunciation.
Oh, I'm sure.
Unlike Wheel of Time, where Robert Jordan didn't. So like they pronounce the names differently every book. Which makes it really confusing.
And those things are so hard to pronounce.
Yeah, but he works with them. And then, of course, Brandon Sanderson being Brandon Sanderson, like all of Mistborn has two ways of pronouncing everything, all the names.
Oh.
Because apparently the way they pronounce it in world is different than the way that it's meant to be written about. Because it's like written from the outside looking in. So like everything in world is pronounced with French pronunciations. So
Brandon Sanderson seems like the kind of guy that would have written a dictionary.
Yeah, he'd be like
all the terms.
J.R.R.
Yeah, and then wrote out like the etymology of all the words, and then put pronunciation guides for everything. He seems like he would be that kind of guy.
So Kelsier, in world, the way you'd say is Kelsier. You did the R with the A. Like the French pronunciation.
The French, okay.
Yeah, but the way it's pronounced, reading it is Kelsier. So.
That's the way it's pronounced in the audiobooks.
And that's the way it's supposed to be pronounced, according to Brandon Sanderson. But if you were in the world, it'd be French pronunciations.
Oh, okay.
Colbert versus Colbert. Anyway, so yeah, decides to live inside the palace. She sets up an easel to do some painting. Starts making copies of the wall hangings, which actually gets the king aggravated because he gets mad about everything. Iodon's kind of just like he's like a little bitch. Sorry. But
he has no patience for her whatsoever.
No. Like the tree's done, so he doesn't care about her. Like it's like, all right.
He's like, I don't suffer fools. He's just like done with her. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. I mean, her presence is tolerated by the king at best, but like barely. He's
actually, he doesn't seem like he gets really a lot of joy from anybody's presence, really.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty miserable person.
Yeah. This guy's like perpetually sitting on a rake.
Well, her strategy is interesting because she's like, if I just play really dumb, eventually he'll get tired of getting mad at how stupid I am and just won't question me whatsoever.
But it says so much about how stupid he is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
As we find out later on, she tries to play stupid with somebody else, and even though she wins the battle, he's like, "You're not that dumb."
No, he sees Hrathen sees right through it.
Right.
Yeah.
So she playing it, but
yeah. Right. So and then of course Serene and Ash start to discuss, the king's disposition and about his prospects of being able to stay in power, and they start talking about different ruling factions and we start to learn a little bit how the power structure works in Eredal, and it's very much a he who has the gold. I think we talked about it last week a little bit, but it really starts to drive that home in these chapters. That because we learned that Iodon, was not a noble blood. He was just a really rich merchant, so he was able to hire enough mercenaries to make himself king.
He was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, but yeah, he was just a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
We get to talk to Luke Kell for a little bit. We learned that Luke Kell was friends with Hrathen before the show took him. So there's that.
Best friends.
Yeah, they're best friends. And talks about how great he was.
He was like, glowingly talking about him. So until there's a really big loss there.
Yeah. Yeah. He was how he was just one of the greatest guys ever, But the king didn't like him either because he always had ideal stick ways and
that the people loved him.
The people loved him. Yeah. And he would often go down to the poor districts and complain to the king about the way they were being treated. The king always hated it.
And then he had that one. Was it? I can't remember the whole deal. How did it work out? It's like one day he could go in front of the king and like just lay the king out or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what was the circumstances around that.
So there's laws that have been written that allowed him as crown prince to do that.
Oh, okay.
Because if you're invited so he would go in there with Serene's uncle,
and
he didn't like Hunky K because Hunky K didn't accept the title from him.
Right.
And that was
Right.
basically an FU to the king, but it also showed that the monarchy or the hierarchy was flawed.
Mm-hmm.
If he was in existence, having been this person that denied a title from the king, he was just like, in the king's eyes, bad representation. So the king's son, Hrathen, would bring him in to the court because anyone who was invited by the son was allowed in the court, and they would like play games together. And that was his son's way of being like, F you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He was really up for sticking it to his dad.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It even talks about, I guess the king had actually tried to reinstitute slavery. I know it's one line in there. He had fought against that. That ownership of people should still, because it is outlawed, but that's
Still
nothing.
kind of happens though.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Kind of similar to how it is today. It's outlawed, but there are unfortunately more slaves living in America today than there were when slavery was legal.
Just different form.
Yep. Still unpaid labor. A lot of it's sex slavery. It's really nasty if you actually look at it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's gross. Yeah. Don't Google that because you'll get in a really depressing rabbit hole of just. I mean, unless you really want to get into the help out.
Oh yeah, or the dark side of the Super Bowl. Because a bunch of shit happens around the Super Bowl. There's a bunch of stuff going on in hotels around the Super Bowl. You don't want to know.
I never went down that rabbit hole. I don't know if I want to.
Don't do it.
You guys, I really want to go down this rabbit hole, but I really shouldn't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. All right. Let's see. Lukel explains how the nation has become more oppressive since Iodon took power. That before that, it was a lot more of a free nation, but it's definitely become more oppressive. Individual land rights, of course, have been eliminated. And the wealth has been redistributed to the merchants, to the merchant class, because the king was from a merchant class himself. So it's pretty much they got rid of the noble class, redistributed the wealth, stripped their land, and gave it to all the merchants,
who are now the new noble class.
Yeah.
So the more money you have, the more noble you are.
The U.S. prison system is basically legal form of slavery. Yeah, that's
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long contention about that too. That's
the only legal form of slavery in this country.
Yeah. Yeah, that still happens all the time. I think. Well, you don't see them as much as you used. I mean, growing up, you used to see the prison crews a lot more, like doing cleanup around the roads and stuff like that. Now it seems like it's contractors and city workers.
Yeah, but they it's all behind closed doors now. And they're just doing all kinds of.
Yeah, it used to be out in the open though.
Oh yeah, it used to be like
you used to see the people in jumpsuits on the street, like mowing the street and.
Yeah, not so much anymore.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of that has to do with they closed the city farm, and at least in our town.
We're from the city farm because they were like not. It's kind of.
Prison.
It's like light incarceration.
Yeah,
it's not like go to the prison incarceration. So
it was always one of the things that confused me a lot. The whole idea of the city farm, because it's like the most beautiful piece of real estate in our whole city. It was a jail.
Oh my gosh, yeah, but a jail's right there.
But it literally, it's like on a point on a bluff overlooking like a giant expanse of water.
Oh yeah,
beautiful, and it's a jail.
Newport News not really good on the planning. Where's our other waterfront property at? Oh, downtown Newport News, which is where our largest low-income, poverty-ridden, crime-ridden area of the city is. A
lot of the waterfront downtown is the shipyard, though, and that has to be waterfront.
I'm talking about round the point, though. When you go around past like 664, going through past there because there's that divide. You know the deal.
Those are all run-down homes.
Anytime you see a railroad, one side, it's a shipyard, blah, blah, blah. The other side, you start going down Roanoke Avenue.
But then you go all the way down the end. Those houses on the water, they're all run down.
And it's crazy because you get to the end of Newport News, you're still like in like poverty and crime-ridden area. You go right around the corner. It's Hampton
and Chesapeake Avenue. It's nice.
And there's like places. There's like Lamborghinis, Ferraris. These houses, I'm like, how does this work? And we just like literally like stones throw from each other.
I never understood Hampton.
I don't get
Hampton
either. Hampton's weird.
You have Chesapeake Avenue along the bay there, along Chesapeake Bay,
Yeah.
And those were all like gorgeous houses with like tons of money.
Yep.
And like literally two streets over Shell Road.
Yep.
Shell Road.
Shell Road.
Which is one of the most crime infested roads in the entire area.
Terrible.
Like,
It's
terrible.
terrible.
Like it's literally a block. Like I mean,
again,
you can throw a stone. It's like
some of this planning I just don't get.
How does that work? I don't understand. Like, and how it's just it's the most bizarre thing in the entire world. I'm not saying that different incomes should be segregated, but I don't understand how the values stay up with all that crime so close and vice. It baffles me.
I just don't get how there's not more crime.
Yeah,
I mean, you're 2 streets away from somebody's got a Lambo. Why is this Lambo not stolen? Why is this Lambo not up on blocks right now? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Lambo cracked in. Like it's Detroit suburbs are like that. I believe it. Yeah,
well, this isn't even like 3 miles. This is like 30 yards.
Yeah, it's like 30 yards away.
I mean, we're saying stone's throw. I mean, literally, we're talking stone's throw. It was like I could literally I could stand in front of a really rich house, throw a rock, and I'm hitting somebody's like cracked in.
Yeah,
it's that
close.
Kind of crazy.
It's weird.
Yeah,
it's bizarre.
It is very bizarre.
Anyway, enough about Hampton Roads and how
we could talk about this forever.
Man, we take some side tracks, don't we?
Sure.
When we get on the Newport News Peninsula stuff,
all of our listeners know from here. They never want to come here.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
We are not going to be on the tourism board. We're not selling it well. So.
Oh, I love Newport News. No.
I was talking to and now they're on the tangent about Newport News. I was talking to some of the shipyards. Speaking of the shipyard the other day, because I guess they try to petition the city to allow them to build a nuclear reactor at the shipyard so they can supply their own power. And the city said, we don't want a nuclear power plant in our backyard. So they denied it. And the shipyard
that makes no sense.
The shipyard, you realize we have 14 live reactors right now in the shipyard. There's
almost half the stuff they're building is nuclear reactor. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's funny.
They know we build nuclear subs out there, right? It just.
I mean, I probably shouldn't say stuff on. I mean, I don't work there, so I'm not under any disclosure. But there's like
no, but half that stuff is public knowledge. I mean, it's not like it's secret.
Yeah, I mean, on the crane right now, Enterprise is being built, the new Enterprise aircraft carrier, and the nuclear reactors hang in the air right now above it. Because they've had people call it 6 and they haven't been able to put it in. So it's been hanging there for a week. A live nuclear reactor just hanging in the sky in the crane. Like that has to be safe.
Hey.
Anyway. So it might be in now. That was like earlier this week. But
the new boats look so crazy, funky, weird.
Those new carriers?
There's new cruisers and stuff. They look so odd.
Well, the new aircraft carriers do too, because they don't have the cable systems anymore.
Yeah, I mean, but the whole thing is just odd.
It's like, you remember the Top Gun movies where they had the cables that would catapult them off? Yeah, catapult.
Yep.
Now they use pneumatic air cannons to shoot the planes off. So they're all futurist. It's they're different.
Yeah,
they're all different now. Anyway, where were we?
We were talking about Serene. I think Serene's about to go to Hunky K's house.
Yeah.
We
talked about the distribution of wealth. That's how we got on this topic. We're talking about the distribution of wealth to the merchant class. Luco also discovers about past rivalries between the merchant guilds and the Latrians. How they used to be at odds with each other about who provide. Because I guess the Latrians would come in and provide food, and the merchants were like, "Yeah, you're cutting our profits. Stop doing that."
Right. There's you can only provide so much. You have to provide just the basics, but we get to provide all the high dollar stuff that we can charge.
Yeah. Don't cut us out of our work. Subsidizing. Yay. Yeah. So Serene also speculates the Airline population will revolt over the poor treatment because they still remember freedom not too long ago. So, if the peasant class still continues to get treated worse and worse, that she feels that there'll be a revolt. Because the freedom's not been it's so recent in the past that it's moving too fast. Too much change causes revolt sometimes. Yeah, unlike Foradel, who's been under harsh conditions for like ever and ever and ever, and they'll never revolt because they've always been
Subjugated. Yep.
Yeah, Lucario then compares Sereni to Hrathen. That's what he reminisces about him. And that's where we talk about Lucario undermining the king's authority, and Honky K undermining the king's authority. We already talked about that. Then this is so we're at the point where they go back to Honky K's house for lunch. So anything from all that? Anything else we missed? I think we covered most of everything.
I think the big takeaway was like
that's
the merchant. What?
Yeah. We go ahead. The merchant.
The merchant guild being so close with the Elantrians when they were in power. When they went away, that's the only reason the merchant guild came to power. And what's his name? Iodon was the highest of the guild, and so the people looked at them and were like, "Well, I guess you guys should be in power." So what I took away from a lot of this was like, there's not a lot of backing to who is in power right now, which just means it could topple at any moment. And like it's
and they said that.
Yeah,
they say that they're like he's like really like on a really precarious throne. I mean, it's the odds of it lasting much longer is slim to nil.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a succession war it's about to be brewing because after Iodon's gone, Radon was the only heir, so he's now gone. So there's a power of
right.
There's a void
and
there.
He has no friends.
Right,
no one likes him, so he's in a bad position.
Yeah,
who's got his back? Nobody.
And we talk about that a little bit too in this chapter. I think a little bit with like the Duke Royale and the other guy. The other merchant who has a lot of money too, and they talk about how much money they have.
The guy who dresses all ornately.
Yeah.
With the purple birthmark.
Oh, the purple birthmark on his face and his neck. Right. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's in this chapter, right?
I think that's later chapter, but
it's later chapter. Okay. Anyway, they all.
I could be getting confused though. So.
Yeah, that might be in the Hrathen chapter, but anyway, they go back for lunch. Over midday meal, they discuss various schools of art. Let's see, and that's where they decide to go visit the wall of Elantris and climb up to the top. And they remark how it's interesting how like they built these giant walls, but they're stairs on the outside, so there's like no defensive purpose besides just looking pretty.
Right.
Because the Elantrians were so, I wouldn't say full themselves, but they're so like no one would ever be able to invade us, so we're not scared of anything. So. They even had these big grand staircases leading up to the top of the walls from the outside.
They thought they were like impenetrable, and as a force, which I get. I mean,
they could do magic
if you had the magic, and you could basically like sustain your entire city without running water or electricity, but still had water and electricity everywhere.
Yep.
I mean, you just think it's like, it seems like we don't know much about the magic, but if they just thought it and drew it in the air, boom, it just happens, right? So,
right, exactly. And then at this point, it's when she notices there's a large crowd gathered on another part of the wall, and she's like, "Let's go check that out." And they go over there. It's K-Ice and Dorn and Sereni, and they walk over there and they see Hrathen preaching to Elantrians about Lord Jedeth and his religion and everything like that. And Sereni takes the opportunity to start having a theological debate.
Right.
But plays the dumb, but sets them up and with fallacies and things like that.
And she like does these like arguments in well-timed ways to interrupt right in between his phrasing, etc.
And he immediately goes into like, okay, well, let's have a theological debate. And her whole goal is for him to lose the crowd. And he notices that halfway through, but it's too late because, it's already.
Gotcha, bitch.
Too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
Okay. If you're reading this, it's already too late.
I could fight that point, but then I have to get into like really deep theological reasoning and logic, and the crowd's already wavering, and if I start going down that route, like I can't win the crowd back at this point. It's done. And they all started even mocking the religion at that point. Like,
yeah. And they're all nobles, right? So it's like it's not like the common people up there. It's like all a bunch of noble people that he's trying to like kind of sway into hate, right?
Yep. Yeah. So it kind of just ruins everything. And of course, Deloff is like glaring at Serenity like, "I will kill you. I'll cut you."
Deloff seems like the kind of person you could see like turning into like a cannibal.
Yeah, kind
of.
Like,
I just want to eat you. You know, that kind of thing.
Reminds me of like characters in like movies that like play the like the deranged, like just like that, like violence type, you know, like like I saw a clip the other day and it just reminded me of this character, like the Green Mile, Percy from the Green Mile, like the guy,
man, who's just evil through and through. Yeah.
So if you haven't seen that movie, sorry if I spoiled it, but
don't watch that movie. Don't watch that movie, people. If you haven't seen that movie, don't watch that movie. There's nothing about that movie that's uplifting.
No, it's not uplifting at all.
It is like one of the saddest.
You'll be emotionally. It's straight up. Where's the clip?
Emotional damage.
God damn, that thing is emotional damage, though. Seriously, there is nothing redeeming about that movie.
No.
I mean,
it's a good movie.
No one comes out of that movie looking good.
No,
except the guy that dies.
It's a good movie. I mean, it's a tearjerker, but it's not a happy movie.
Poor Mr. Jangles.
Well, Mr. Jangles.
Yeah, again, everything about that movie was just shit. I mean, he killed his little pet. And,
they brought him back.
He does come.
I don't care. He tried to kill the pet. What did the pet ever do to you?
Yeah,
just.
Yeah, it's not a happy movie.
No, it is not happy. But Tom Hanks, I guess, is like kind of the good guy.
Kind of, yeah. It's a Stephen King book. I mean, it's gonna have that kind of weird twist.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
But yeah, he's that character. I forget his name.
Brad Dourif.
No. In the book, Hrathen's underling.
Oh,
crazy
guy.
Deloff.
Deloff.
Deloff. There you go. Thank you.
I
don't know why I was just thinking Game of Thrones. Just now. I said Dorn. I was like, that's the name.
Wasn't that one of Anki K's daughter's names?
Oh, really? Okay, so I wasn't just like making that up then, because I mean, Dorn.
Yeah, Daorn is.
Daorn.
Oh, okay, Dorn is also the land in Song of Ice and Fire. So
all the confusing names. But he's like standing there talking about like, well, if we can't convert them, then we'll just
kill them all.
Mm-hmm.
But meanwhile, like Hrathen actually like gives a nod of respect to Serenity, like, you know, you won this battle. And
he's like, you're formidable.
Yeah.
Well played.
Mm-hmm. Well played. The hat to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You and your shitty art. That's all I could think of the whole time was the fact that she drew shitty art. Though.
Yeah.
I think about that scene in have you guys ever seen that movie 50 First Dates?
Yeah.
At the end of it, when they're like all drawing art and stuff, she's like, "Oh, it's really good." He's like, "What am I doing?" And she's like, "You're drawing art." And he looks at his artwork, and it's just like a little circle, with a little smiley face. So he's like, "I suck." That's the way she should be. She's like flowers, and they're like, is it a bowl of fruit?"
Yeah. What's that like, big brown patch in the
brown spot in the middle? And then they couldn't even figure out she's copying a piece of art. They could look around the room, they still couldn't tell which piece of art she was trying to copy.
Yeah, like you're painting paintings. What?
And she's clearly looking at the painting, and they still couldn't figure it out. Anyway, side segue off this.
Another one of those tear-jerking movies. There's that scene from Good Will Hunting when he goes and visits Robert Williams' office, and the first thing Matt Damon says, he walks over, he's like, "Did you paint this? It's crap." It's like it was paint by number.
Wait. That's a tear-jerking movie, but it has a good ending.
It does have a good ending. That one does have a good ending.
And it's not terribly tear-jerking.
It's not terrible.
It's like Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tear-jerking movie, but that's got a great ending.
It's got a great ending.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, Good Will Hunting's a good movie. I like Good Will Hunting.
Yeah. Back when they were actually good.
How about them apples? No. Let's see. So Hrathen gives some respect. You can kind of see the juxtaposition between Hrathen and Deloff too. Just like both are religious men, but like one's just kill them all. The other one actually
that's dangerous. He's playing with fire, and I said that I'm pretty sure it's last episode. I said that.
Yeah,
that's just playing with fire. Why would you do that?
Yeah, being a Gjorn, I mean, Hrathen is still a zealot and very religious, but also is a scholar at heart and respects.
But he's a tactician though too.
Yeah, exactly. And
Again,
he's
the
all
other dude,
and he's all for peace. He wants to find a way to peacefully resolve this. He does not want to slaughter.
yeah, but he's trying to work with the Joker. And like they said in Dark Knight, some people just want to watch the world burn, and that's what this dude is like. I would not keep him around.
Yeah.
Trouble all day long.
And then I guess, and then they turn to talking about, because they noticed some people down the courtyard. And they start talking about the Elantrians themselves. And they're like, yeah, but they're all dead anyway. Like, I guess what Chaos says.
Yeah.
It's really, it's like, why are there two over there that look, they're carrying themselves differently? They don't look like they're in despair. And it's, I think you're supposed to, I don't think it says it, but I think you're supposed to know.
You're supposed to know
yeah,
that's actually her beloved.
Yeah, that's Hrathen and Galadon. So they're waiting at the gate for the next people to come in. We found that out a couple times.
Right.
But yeah. But she notes that they're holding themselves differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's how we end this chapter. So any thoughts?
I noticed Serene has balance issues, or she was just like getting nervous. She, like, at the end of that chapter, she's standing on the wall and like she's like looking down at her beloved, dizzy, and like her stay on, like that almost has to save her from falling. And she did that a couple times.
Yeah,
that's she's tall and lanky, or what? But
oh yeah, but that and from high distances, vertigo's a real thing. Like if you, it's a you'll get Russian.
I get
like,
that.
Yeah,
I get that.
like I remember the first time I went to the Sun Sphere in Knoxville at the World's Fair Park, because I guess in the 70s the World's Fair is in Knoxville, Tennessee, and they had the big Sun Sphere, so you can go to the top up there, and then you can walk out, and then when you walk out, there's like glass underneath you, and you're looking straight down to the park. And I was not expecting that, so I stepped up the elevator, and like I think if I had mentally prepared, it wouldn't have happened, but because I didn't know that's what I was walking into, stepped off, I was like, whoa, like,
right.
Like, there's the.
It's very disorienting.
Yeah,
right.
Like, there's the ground. Oh, there's glass. Okay, it's safe. But oh man, that took me by surprise.
And of course, it could have been a subconscious thing that she doesn't even understand why.
Yeah,
she was so fixated.
Yeah,
and so much so that it like took her out of her element.
Intrusive thoughts. Jump.
Could be.
Yeah, or her subconscious is like, that's your freaking husband.
Right, because it recognizes a pet. We've talked numerous times on this podcast about pattern matching and how that's what humans want to do. And so if there's something that your subconscious recognizes as a pattern, it will create a connection between a memory and something it sees. And even if it's not meant to be, but it's like it can be overwhelming, and so I think that's what happened. And it's just like all other, senses just like kind of just shut down for a second while I was like, oh, this guy I was supposed to like marry.
Yeah. We're going to talk about,
he looks like him.
Later in this podcast, we get to different books. We're going to talk about pattern a lot.
It's not going to be like 6% or something, is it?
16%.
That's right. 16%. Right.
We're talking about pattern a lot. That's all.
That's patterns of hope.
Patterns of hope.
No, I was so tempted to like say something about your hope thing, but I was like,
well, that's the next thing we're reading after Elantris is the Hope for Elantris. That's the name of the short story we're reading.
The Hope.
I'm not joking. That's the name of the next thing we're reading. Hope for Elantris.
I'm pretty sure the word hope shows up in the next chapter, so I had to do it.
Wait. I mean, if it says hope one time, that's okay. The whole book's name, story's name, Hope?
What do you think is Hope? I mean, A New Hope is a good movie. You're not a Star Wars fan, huh?
It was Star Wars Episode 4 to me. All right, let's just leave it at that. Star Wars Episode 4.
New Hope.
New Hope. Okay. All right.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. So, Chapter 9. Hrathen professes his admiration of Serene's rhetorical skills. Hrathen and Deloff debate converting the Teod to Shu-Dereth once their work with Erlon's over. Deloff predicts that Teod would be destroyed by Janeth because they would be so stubborn and they would never convert that they would be forced to destroy them. So I had this little debate in the beginning between the two of them, where once again, Delos like, kill them all. And Hrathen's like, oh, we can work through this diplomatically.
But then he even gets a sense of like urgency because he's like, wait, we only have 3 months.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
You got this clock going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
He's like, well, I guess maybe if we can't convert him, we could kill someone.
Yeah. Yeah. So Hrathen and Delof then go to a meeting in an inn to form an alliance with some of the Airline aristocrats, mostly minor houses, but the powerful Duke Tellery is there. I think that's purple birthmark guy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And promises power for exchange for nobles converted to Shudurith. So like they're making deals. Hey, you convert to religion, we'll give you our own titles. It's just really reminiscent of buying indulgences from the Catholic Church in the 1200s. You can buy titles, and the Catholic Church will award you. Martin Luther did a whole lot of stuff about that because of that's where the church, the break of Protestant came from. Was all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
that was later. That was I guess early 1500s.
Martin Luther. You're talking about the Martin Luther and the posting of the on the church door.
1500s.
See, that's one of those things I used to have an auto response to, and now I don't remember the date like I used to. Shoot, I can't want to say 1512, and I don't think that's right. I don't know.
1512?
Right. I know it's not right. I know it's not
1517.
Right. 17, there it is.
On Halloween.
Yep, 1517. Okay.
October 31st.
What do they call? It was like a document called
the 95 Theses.
The
95
Theses.
Theses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he nailed it to the church door. But yeah,
that's a lot of theses.
That's a lot of theses. Yeah, that was 1517. I knew it was around that time.
Yeah, so I was closer than I thought. I thought
there was a lot of stuff that happened in Europe, like back.
Oh my god, that time period! Oh
yeah,
god.
Like what? So you had, like, I'm trying to think. So the fall of Constantinople was 1450s.
Could not tell you the year of that.
Just before 1492, when Columbus sailed, that's when Spain unified from the Iberian wedding, when Aragon and Castile formed together to form Spain.
Right.
That was in the 1400s, and the Spanish Inquisition started. And then you had, there's a lot of, and then the HRE doing the HRE stuff, Holy Roman Empire.
And then Renaissance shortly after.
Yeah, it was right around the same time. The Renaissance was right around there.
Yep. Because then it's like it started expanding beyond religion.
Because that's when the Italians broke away from the Holy Roman Empire.
There you go. Yep.
And the Holy Roman Empire was not Holy Roman or an empire.
And then it moved to seat for a while. We're getting into history stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're getting way off topic.
And then the Habsburgs rose to power in Austria, and they become inbred, and they.
They're all inbred anyway. All those,
history with the Cosmere. It's world history, or European history. It's fun. So they make all these deals. Hrathen speaks vaguely, about all that, about all these promises and everything like that, because he wants to maintain plausible deniability, just in case like people come in and say like, no, we're not going to give him stuff. Like, so he's just very vague about like, maybe.
he says like such and such rewards his believers.
Yeah, but he does it in a way where he's not like saying yes.
He's like, well, you were rewarded with a fluffy pillow.
Yeah, you
sleep good at night, right?
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's see. Where were we? Possible in the event that one of the nobles accuses Hrathen of insurgency against the government too, he wants plausible deniability for that. One guy, Warren, muses there will be a lengthy process to establish Shudurith, to establish the religion Shudurith in Erelon. But Hrathen, counters that the Jesker mysteries were banished from the Duodel Republic, in a short time frame. So he points to like other religions that have been banished before and how fast they were able to convert.
Mhm.
So it's like, have faith, just because you say, oh, it'll take a long time. It's like, no, we were able to do this overnight in other places.
Yeah.
So
I found it interesting, the comments that were made between him and Dilloff about, he's like, well, why do we need to try to create all this hate for the Elantrians? And he was like, because everybody thinks they're going to come back. And I was like, that's really interesting that's something that is that's a through line here.
yeah,
That is, I feel like is really, really critical, and it's kind of gets, kind of shuffled, in the background. But really, there's a lot of people that secretly have hope that, Elantris comes back, and, just
what do they
back
have?
to glory.
What do they have?
They have hope, and so it's like they're just like, man, I really want to see this thing come back. And I'm like, that's interesting that they. I mean, it's like this unspoken thing that's going on with everybody, and I'm like, that's kind of interesting. So, okay, sure, you can do that.
I agree though completely,
Yeah.
and they kind of hint at that a little bit later in this chapter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's almost like they're before the Merchant Guild came to power, what it was like in those days. And
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but 10
Still-
years is not that long ago.
No, not at all.
Not so long that people have forgotten
Yeah.
the good things that came out of Elantris, right? So
Mhm.
there's enough there for people to say, man, I remember
Yeah.
those days. I want to go back to those member berries. And,
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why it's going to be really hard to convert everybody to another religion.
Yeah.
When secretly they're all wishing that this other lifestyle came back. And if there's a possibility of its return, they're thinking there's a possibility of its return.
Are you saying they want to make Elantris great again?
Mega.
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 We need a hat.
Mega.
Purple hat.
Oh, purple hat.
Instead of
that's
mega,
right.
it's just
Right.
mega. Mega. Make Elantris
Wait,
great again.
it's got to be like that weird, shiny, kind
Shiny.
of funky skin looking.
Say
Yeah,
mega.
yeah.
Instead of mega, it's going to be mega hats.
Mega
We should
hat.
make that for our merch.
And the
Mega
letters
hats.
need to be like glowing, like
Mm,
neon.
mhm.
Make Elantris great again.
Yep. Aeon lettering. Mhm.
Make them big red hats. Or purple hats. Yeah, purple would work. But,
Yeah,
had
purple.
the same font, though. Like, make Elantris great. Mega.
There you go.
We could do mega hats. That'd be cool.
Mega.
Mega. I had it to that merch. I don't know. I don't know if you will like Elantris enough to buy Elantris merch. I don't know.
Look, we're gonna find out. I mean,
We're
we're
gonna
gonna
find
get through this book, and we
Yeah.
will see whether or not it holds up. I mean,
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, like I said, I like Elantris. It's not my favorite. Book,
Again,
but
it's so indicative of early
of early
Brandon
yeah,
Sanderson,
early writing,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, because now we've read, Mistborn. I've read his stuff in
Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time. So
Right.
it's like I can tell this is very early.
Yeah, he just hadn't found his voice as an author yet, and he's still
Yeah.
working on experimenting stuff.
And
that's
pacing is off.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is,
yeah,
but that's normal for younger writers.
yep.
I mean, you even look at like someone who wrote like a series over the course of their life. So I mean, I go back to like Stephen King, and you look at Dark Tower series, and you look at the first book in the Dark Tower series versus the last book, and the prose and the writing style, and it's vastly different because he's written that series over his entire life. Like he's gone back to it, and it's now wrapped up. But like, it took him, I can't remember how many years to finish the Dark Tower series because he'd write other things in between.
Right.
Um,
Definitely
but-
gonna read that at some point in time. I have never read that.
Gunslingers.
Yeah, I've heard it's so good.
It's good.
Yeah, so I gotta
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah, it's not as normal like horror stuff. It's more sci-fi.
But he's written so much stuff that's not horror. That
No, he does. I mean, Shawshank Redemption is Stephen King.
Green Mile, not
Green Mile
horror.
is Stephen King. Yeah, not
Just
horror.
The
Shawshank's not
horror of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wrote the Kennedy assassination book, 11/22.
Oh, the one with the date.
Yeah, 11/22.
Is that what it's called? I thought it was like a whole date. It was like
Yeah, 63 or what's it, 63?
something 63. I thought it was.
Yeah, 11/22/63. Yeah,
Oh, okay, got it.
that's
I didn't
the
know what
date.
the first two numbers were.
yeah. 11/22 is the day Kennedy was assassinated. The only reason I know that very well is because it's also my daughter's birthday, which is weird, but it's like, you know, like when you like your kid's born, you go look at like the historical dates, what happened during that day. I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. Now it's stuck. Like that's your day you're born. So yeah.
What about your birthday? Was anything particular on your birthday you remember?
Well, so technically my birthday is the same as Thomas Jefferson's birthday, but Thomas Jefferson was on the old calendar before they reconciled the calendar. So it depends on whether you convert the dates over.
Mm-hmm.
Because in 1700s, our calendars were a couple days off, and
Right.
we changed that at some point. So,
Gotcha. What about you, Will? Anything in particular on your birthday that you?
Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam.
nice.
Okay. Good deal.
I gotta get a bunch of cotton balls in my mouth and start singing.
You're me, bro. The Naked Cowboy from New York City.
Oh, I have met
Nice.
that dude so many times.
If you really,
Yeah, I remember the first time I went. He was so young, and then I used to have to go to New York
Lucky.
all the time, and I would go there, and he was just always around where they would do the outdoor part of the Today Show, and I used to go up there and just like go sit in the crowd at the Today Show, and I was running to him, and he's like, "Hi, I'm the Naked Cowboy." I was like, "Kind of obvious, my guy."
yeah.
I was like,
No
"You're 10
shit.
You're 10 years older than the last time I saw you." But
Like, prove it.
yeah,
Awesome.
always running around with the red, white, and blue underwear and a guitar and a cowboy hat.
Yep.
This guy.
Yep.
Oh, for me, my birthday is the same as Gene Wilder's birthday,
Okay.
which
Oh,
I'm
nice.
always proud of that because that guy loved Gene Wilder.
Yeah. My oldest is Bob Marley. Same birthday as Bob Marley.
That's cool.
So that's a fun one. So anything from chapter 9 before we move to chapter 10?
Yep.
Okay.
No.
All right. So we're in Elantris, and Hrathen has a plan. He's like, all right, Galadon, I need you to do this. It's like,
He has a plan, but he like doesn't even tell him what to do. He's like, "Just go running."
let's go run.
I was running.
But he creates a sense of urgency. So like 3 new Elantrians come in, and Galadon runs by. He's like, he has the cure. Run after him.
I mean, oh my gosh.
And of course they immediately start running. It's like, dude, if you don't listen to me right now, everyone's gonna attack you. You gotta run. And so
That's right.
they take off running without even knowing what's going on, like terrified. You imagine being like thrown in immediately. Some guy comes up to you, it's like, run now, you're dead.
Right.
Like,
And they got whatever little stuff on them that they're given when they first come in, right? The
Yeah.
little pack and stuff.
little
So they're
package,
just
yeah.
like just shuffling along. Yeah.
right.
Mm.
Yeah. So you learn it's they finally get away and they hide or whatever, and they meet back up with Galadon, and then they introduce themselves. So we have Mar or Mary, who is a former housewife.
Weaver.
Yeah, right. It was like, hey, do you got any talents? She's like, no, it's just a housewife. You're like, can you weave? She's like, of course. She's like, you have talents.
There you go. Boom.
And then you have Real, former handyman,
Builder.
and Sauerland, who served as a soldier.
Soldier.
Yeah.
Sounds like a name of a movie.
Yeah,
It's like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. This is Weaver, Builder, Soldier guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sounds like the start of a joke. A housewife,
Yeah,
a handyman, and a soldier walk into a bar.
Mhm.
And
then his cobbler walks in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cobbler.
Mhm.
So yeah. And basically he's like, hey, listen, there is no cure. I lied to you, but it was important because I need to get you guys away because this is what we're doing.
Right.
We're trying to make we're mega here. We're trying to make Elantris great again. We're the mega gang. And you know, orders really to help build a rooftop for the headquarters. He's like, but yeah, we don't have any. I mean, all the wood here is rotten or falling apart. Like, I don't have materials. It's like, we'll have to work on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know, they're at least trying to come up with plans on like how to improve the quality of life within there.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, Hrathen and Galadon decide to go visit Aiden's base, the other rival gang member, and Hrathen like looks at him and goes, I know him. He's not some like warlord or anything like that. It's like, or Baron, because I guess he calls himself the Baron or whatever.
Right,
And he's
right.
like, he's not a Baron. His name was Ton. He was a sculptor.
Yep.
You know, like, and Galen's like, how would you know? And he's like, I would know if he's a Baron. I know all the Barons, and like,
But he's already given himself away twice in this
Yeah.
chapter, because first the soldier, he's talking to him and he waxes on all about, you know, his ruler, and he's like, oh, well, you talking good about him, then we're good, because he was all trepidatious before
Right.
that. So how does he know all that stuff? So he obviously knows nobles and etc.
yeah,
Then he lets it go again.
yeah. And
You
then at
know.
that point, Galen's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
You said you want to call yourself Spirit, right?
Spirit,
That's
right.
rare. Like Hrathen, like, you're Hrathen?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's like, you got me. It's like, but don't tell anybody else.
The jig is up.
And Galen's like, he's like, man, I hate nobles. Like,
Yeah, man.
he's like, I never want to be friends with a noble.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, fun times. And then they start talking, and he's like, well, I told you my secret. We should never talk about our past lives. So how about you tell me who you were?
And he takes his sweet time coming up with his story.
And then he's like, and when they finally just about to get back, he's like, I was a farmer. It's like, and Raiden's like, bullshit.
He's like, you're the smartest farmer I know.
He's like, yeah, some stars. He has a little story. It's like, yeah, I had an apple orchard because I thought that'd be good. Because I heard apples are better than wheat, and he has this whole entire thing about it. Raiden's just not buying it.
Yeah, he's like, I used to read books, Cholo.
Yeah. Cholo. Suli.
The way it's said in the audiobook, it sounds so Latino the way he says Cholo. I
think it's Colo.
Oh, Colo. Sorry, Colo.
And
I'm like,
it's Suli.
I'm like, it sounds a little.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay? Is this okay? Yeah. I would like the entire Latinx community to come back and say, "Yep, this is okay. We bless this." Yeah. Otherwise, it just feels a little off. I'm like,
yeah, it's a fantasy world. This doesn't exist. This is not our world.
Sure. Again, I would like for the entire Latinx community just to bless that I can listen to this book.
So and then Raiden brings up like, wait, I don't see children here. I mean, I've seen children get the shade and like get thrown in here, but like, where are the children? And Galen kind of gets quiet. He's like, Elantris is a tough place. Like
they don't make it. I'm like, what?
And Raiden's like, yeah. And then Raiden encounters Len, I think it's how you pronounce it, or Ian, or no, his Ian. His
right, which I thought for when I first heard it, I thought he said Aiel. I was like, what? Ian,
who was his former Seon.
Right.
And Raiden reflexively reaches up his hand, and the sound just and then drifts away.
And I thought it was going to be like this reconnection thing, like they were going to like touch and like electricity was going to go off. They'd be like, do, and it's like, nope. It's like, nope, that was a hand, and it just floats off. It starts bouncing into a wall.
Yeah,
like a migrant balloon, just boom.
He's like the depressed android. He's like Marvin from
Hitchhiker.
Like Marvin, depressed android.
Yeah,
life sucks.
I know. I love everything that what's his name? Alan. The guy that plays Snape. What's his name?
Al Rickman.
Thank you. Yeah, but everything he always plays, I love.
Yeah,
and he was perfect for that voice acting role.
The depressed android, yeah.
Oh man, he was the best. I love him.
They built the AI, and they wanted me to mimic you. What was it? The reason was they wanted me to mimic human emotion, but the only emotion that every human shares is depression. Therefore, I'm a depressed robot.
Yep. Yeah.
Because every human is depressed. So I'm all depressed.
Oh man. He's the best.
It's like,
and I love he has like this oversized head and oversized appendages. No, just lumbering along.
It's like the Eeyore of the robots.
Oh, I didn't even thought about that. You're right. He's the Eeyore of robots.
It's great.
Classic.
I like it. We can laugh about depression.
Yes.
He's suppressed.
You're my friend, Whiskey. Oh, as I cry.
Uh,
There you go.
so yeah. Anyway, so
Anyway, I was hoping for a lot there when he reconnected with his orb.
Yeah.
Or, what is it called? Seon. Is it called?
Seon. Yeah.
Yeah. Seon.
Ian.
But they're called Seons, right?
Yeah, they're called Seons.
Okay. But yeah, I thought when he connected with his Seon, I thought it was going to be like this momentous thing and like stuff was going to like, fireworks and reconnect and it's going to start glowing again. But no, did not.
Yeah. I'm
That
looking
was a sad part.
I'm looking at the anecdotal notes from Brandon Sanderson about this chapter. Because someone had asked him one time, are Elantrians zombies? No, Elantrians are not zombies. However, they would certainly fit that standard to a fantasy definition of being undead. After all, their bodies aren't really alive. It's just fascinating to get like Brandon Sanderson's notes about it. And people asked him also.
Zombies though don't really have like independent thought.
Right.
I mean, they just are basically down to their base instincts, right? So they're definitely not zombies.
Right. And then someone asked, was Galadon written as comic relief? And his answer to that was, I've never used and never intend to use a comic relief character.
No, he's not. He's not comic. I mean, I think he's levity.
Yeah, and that's what he said. That's what he says in his notes. He's like, I'll use levity in some of my characters.
Sure.
I'm never going to ever write a character.
He is not. Relief. He is not a Disney sidekick. This guy is basically, he is there just to provide levity in a very harsh environment.
Yeah.
But no, I never thought of it as comic.
Says in my mind, Galadon fits the most basic definition of a humorous character, but that's just his juxtaposition. It's not
right. Yeah. Right. He keeps it lighthearted so that way he can make it through this like oppressive situation.
Right. Yeah. I like going back and reading through the notes. I mean, some of that has spoilers, so I have to pre-screen that. But that one that one had no spoilers in it, so I was like, okay. But yeah, that's fine.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is it up in the Cosmere Reads Discord channel? What is this?
Oh, his brother did a Marvin cosplay.
Oh, it's up. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's what's up. I gotta go look this thing up, man.
I gotta check it out.
Gotta see it. Absolutely.
I'll check it out after.
And see, the giant head is what makes it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be an awesome cosplay.
I know. Absolutely.
Just walk around. I did that for Halloween one year. I went as an emo kid, and I got completely into the character.
Emo kid?
Yeah, I was in college, and we had a Halloween party, and I wore all black with like skinny jeans, and like got I didn't dye my hair, but I got the black hairspray, that could like dye your hair temporarily for a day, like all black, painted my fingernails black, and then got fully into character.
Did you have the hair flip?
I didn't have long enough hair, but I definitely combed it over a little bit, but I couldn't get it onto my eye. It wasn't that long. I feel like I got a wig.
You should have got a wig, yeah.
I should have. But I was in character the entire time at the party. And like actually the next day, like one of my friends came up to me, he's like, dude, are you okay? Like you seem like really down at the party. And I was like, I'm fine, dude. I was like, because I was just in the corner and like people come up to me and it's like, how's things going? I was like, I don't know, life sucks. Like but I was like completely in character the entire time.
There you go. Great. People come and ask you how you're doing, you're like, who cares? Because it's all immaterial anyway, I would love to do emo just one time, just pull it off for like a day, just go all emo. Just
it was fun. That was back in early 2000s.
Some black eyeliner
in the year 2000. Anyway, so any thoughts from this?
Nope. Nothing else really add. No.
I feel like him seeing his Seon, like it's kind of like giving him a little fuel. Made him sad and angry.
Well, we've had 2 near connections now. Between Sereni and Hrathen and Ayin. And so I feel like it's teasing that a bit, and I found it interesting. But I feel like we're a lot further away than we think we are. That reconnection happening. I think it's too early in the book for it to happen. So
Okay.
I think he's just teasing it out there. It's like, hey, look at this. They were actually all in the same area, but it's gonna be like a bunch of misconnections, you know.
Okay.
Kind of thing. That's what I feel like it's gonna go for a little bit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
I didn't have any other theory times. I thought I was gonna have like more theory times.
Yeah.
I have more theory times than what I've already proposed, but
Yeah.
I gotta look up my favorite character. I can't remember her name.
Figured chaos.
oh, favorite character. Let's see.
I think that's who it is.
Chaos.
Wait, did you just take her?
No.
Who?
You said you covered her name, and I was trying to think of girls besides Serenity inside this chapter. I was like, guys, that might have been. I didn't take her. I was answering for you.
Chaos. That was who I was going to pick.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, I just like that she can speak so many different languages. She seems really
Yeah.
smart and sharp.
Yeah, she's on top of her ish, right?
Yeah.
I'll go with low hanging fruit on this one and say Serenity. I like the fact that she plays the role. The thing is, though, and I'm going to choose her for now because I have a feeling that is going to run out quickly
Mm-hmm.
because the jig is going to be up
Sure.
sooner than she thinks. And so while she's able to get away with it, her bat in the eyes and all that stuff, get away with playing stupid. But I mean, now she's really putting herself out there, and I'm like, and you did this in front of people in a notable way.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to get back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, I'll choose you for now. I'll choose you, Pikachu, but
Yeah. I'll pick Galadon. Golo.
mm-hmm.
Golo.
Sorry.
Golo, Suli.
Does that mean anything in Spanish? I don't know. Is that?
I think it's
word?
Cholo in
Okay.
Spanish, and that's the reason why I think I just said that. But I could be wrong, and somebody's going to correct me and be like,
Cholo in Spanish means bargain.
I thought it was like this slang though.
It might have a slang connotation. I just
Yeah. Cholo is a young man belonging to a Mexican American urban subculture associated with street gangs.
Okay.
Cholo. Yeah, so that's the reason why I said that. I was like, that's the reason I kept thinking that too. So
yeah, Colo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you got that from the Colo in Spanish, cabbage.
Cabbage. Nice. As
So-
somebody that watched the Avatar Last Airbender, cabbage is a big deal because there was this cabbage dude who kept getting beat up the whole time,
Mhm.
or his cabbage cart kept getting destroyed over and over and over again.
Yeah.
For any of our is it ATLA? Yeah, Avatar the Last Air.
Okay.
ATLAB, yeah, something like that, whatever it is. Anyway.
All right. Cool. Well, next week we'll be doing 3 chapters again.
Okay.
So 11, 12, 13. I think that's what's on the spreadsheet. Yep. Yeah, I think we're on the 3 chapter trend for a few weeks. But we'll get back to more chapters towards the end. We'll start ramping up.
I love it. So now I listen to the chapters while I'm on my I do a bike ride.
Okay.
And I do a 90-minute bike workout, and it's like the chapter ends like within 1 minute, either before or after my bike ride ends. It's like
nice.
These are perfectly segmented. So just
yeah.
Well,
next week is a little bit longer than this week, but not much.
Then I'm not going to finish. So then when I get here, I'll be like, I don't know what the ending's like.
but then the next week's about the same.
Nah, I'll be fine. Yeah.
I try to keep it around this. In general, around the same.
Okay. No, it's been fine now. And it gives me a good reason to jump off of work.
Yeah.
Like on time. So I'm like, hey, I got to get off this work stuff so I can go read my chapters.
Yeah.
So
cool.
I like it.
Yeah. So how we can be found is at thecosmoreads.com. You can find links to all sorts of stuff like our Twitter, where you can win a free book right now if you go and do all the things like share it and like the post that's on there. So do it.
It's a signed book, right?
No. I can't afford those.
Oh, I thought you were giving away a signed book.
I wish.
I was gonna That's the reason I was getting upset I couldn't enter the content.
No, I don't think they have them even more for purchase. You used to be able to get those from Dragonsteel Books. But I haven't seen a signed book for sale on there in a while. I mean, you get the leather bound stuff. I don't even think they have the signed. Let me see catalog. Let me see. They have signed books. They don't even have. Yeah, they used to have the printed books. Oh no, they do have some signed stuff. I don't see any Cosmere signed stuff. This is all hardcover. Yeah, leather bounds. Yeah, he has some of the young adult stuff signed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Hey, by the way, you've mentioned Stormlight a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Is Stormlight part of Cosmere?
Yes.
Okay. Because somebody else,
100%.
I can't remember when it happened, but somebody was going to say something to me about Stormlight, and I was like, I think that's in part of the series we're reading, and I can't hear anything about that. So
yeah. Now, Stormlight is kind of the grand opus, the center story of the Cosmere.
Okay, gotcha. So I just to make sure I got that right, because I was like, don't say anything about that. I was like, we're gonna be reading that, and I can't have any.
Stormlight is Brandon Sanderson self-admittedly is like his masterpiece. That's we're gonna get there. We're starting that right after this.
Oh, okay.
After we do the short stories after this.
Okay, I thought so. I was like, I know you've mentioned it before, but I was like, I hope I wasn't getting confused that it wasn't like in a different series or something, but it's definitely part of Cosmere. So got it. Okay, which is the reason I think I'm just going to get into just downloading all of the books, and having them in Audible. That way, I
mean, there is non-Cosmere Brandon books, but most of his non-Cosmere stuff is young adult.
Wait, so you're saying that most everything that he's written is in the Cosmere universe?
All stuff he's written for like grown-ups, but like he has kids.
Wow, that's shocking. So all the stuff he has written is related to the Cosmere universe.
Not all of it, but most of it.
Whoa.
I'm trying. I think it's up to. I think he's written as much. There was a Daniel Green video the other day, and I didn't watch the whole thing, but I think he said there is as much Cosmere works now, and some of it's short stories, so he counts that too.
Mm-hmm.
But there's as much written Cosmere works as there are MCU movies.
So, like the short stories that were like in the book, because we had that.
Mm-hmm.
Book that
we did a few from this
point. We did one short story out of. So the other short stories in that not related to Cosmere.
Oh, all come out. No, they're all Cosmere.
So you can read. So because I remember
we'll sprinkle those are on our list of things to cover.
Okay, because I remember we only read it's like 1 or 2 chapters. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was the one about Kelsier's backstory. And,
right.
Yeah, with his trainer.
But I know you told us not to look at any of the chapters.
Yeah, because like there's like the Hope for Elantris is in there, which takes place after this. Like so, there's
cool.
It's so the Arcadium Unbound is a collection of short stories from all the different parts of the Cosmere. So like it's not meant to be read through like a normal book. It's meant to be a supplement to go back and forth into as you're going through.
But it's basically kind of like the last book that was written for Wheel of Time. That's actually the prequel. It sounds like that's the way that Arcanum Unbound is. Then it's kind of possibly a book you read at the end, but really it gives you prequel information.
But some of the short stories are meant to come in between some of the books and stuff like that, like timeline order. And so it's you end up bouncing around a lot. Some people will do it that way. We'll just read all through Arcanium Unbound after they've read through everything else. The problem is he's still putting out more stuff, so it's not like nothing's done yet. All right. So yeah, the only things that are adult, the Legion stuff and Frugal Wizard are the only adult non-Cosmere stuff. So
okay, got it.
So like this book, Legion, by Brandon Sanderson, which I have not read, but it's signed.
So that's good to know. So for the most part, if it's a Brandon Sanderson book that someone's talking to me about, and it's a book we haven't read yet, and I know it's not Wheel of Time because I know the Wheel of Time books, I have to assume it's Cosmere and
the Frugal Wizard's Guide to medieval Europe, or is medieval England? That one's not Cosmere. and then there's the Legion series. There's a whole series called Legion.
Okay.
Which is not Cosmere. But everything else if it sounds like it's for kids, then it probably is for kids. Like Alcatraz and the Evil Librarians is a whole series. and that's
Okay.
not Cosmere. That's for kids, it's like Harry Potter. I mean that age group.
Got
It's
it.
good for that age group. Not like
Young
young
adult.
kids, but
Got
young
it.
adult.
Okay. Okay.
So
Thank you for the clarification. Appreciate
Yep.
it. Sorry,
Yeah.
you were doing your sign off before I got you completely
that's all right.
off track again.
Go to the site, sign up for free books, and like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Yeah. So until next time, guys.
Thank you for watching the Cosmere Reads.
Gosh dang, gosh dang fresh. Gosh dang, gosh dang fresh.